Hey everybody, this is DJ, part 2 in a video series looking at setting up a soundboard and voice filtering for a D&D room. So let's start by, I'll do a little demo again. If you watched part 1 in this series, I showed off what the soundboard can do and the voice filtering. I'll just review that real quick. 2, we'll look at the hardware. I'll show you some links online and links will be in the description. And then 3, we'll walk through setting all this up in the software. So first, just a quick recap. We've got sound triggers here. There's victory sound for when they win a battle. Aqua Teen Hunger Force cameo. We've got ambient stuff. I've meant to fill out my soundboard with a whole bunch of sounds. I've just been too lazy to do that. But and then we've got voice filtering. We've got a delay. Wait, hold on. First, there's an enable button on the mic. Turn that on. When it's red, mic is live. And then we can pump in, let's say, pitch down. For doing it over something, or even lower. For a dragon or a demon, or then you go, this might be too low, but maybe a mountain is speaking to you. And you can go pitch up filter, maybe I'm doing a young voice or a female. And then a super high pitch up, you got your gnomes, your fairies, and then put them both in. Go high, go really high, you guys. There's these little Tempestry minis, which we're doing a witchlight campaign, and they're tiny little guys. And then there's, we got some echo. You say you want like your demons offering to tear out your soul. And if you don't accept the offer, you'll be dead. That's pretty sweet. We got some reverb, combine all that stuff together. There you go. So, let's dig into the hardware. I've got this website series up showing off what I'm using. That is not the one. Here we go. So first up, we have the soundboard itself is a Launchpad X by Novation, about 150 bucks, 170, something like that. I like to get my audio gear at sweetwater.com. Then we've got a microphone here. This is just an Amazon USB mic with a gooseneck. This is nice because I can kind of put it out of the way. I also really dig that it's got a just a kind of hard mute button. So if you're doing voices and then you're describing stuff and without having to toggle anything, you can just kind of go into and out of the voice really easy. Or if your players are talking, sometimes like the reverb will come through, they'll hear themselves. So a hard mute button is nice to have on this. Then from there, so those are basically what's controlling this, and that's the mic input. Out of the Mac, so both of those are going into a little tiny USB hub. Just look up anyone. Then I've got it going out of the Mac into this PreSonus audio box i2. This is called an audio interface. Normally it's used for musicians plugging in guitars and amps and instruments. But I use this to get out to my receiver. I am a Denon fan, but you can find any receiver you want on Facebook Marketplace for 50 bucks and it'll probably be fine. You will probably need this cable. Sweetwater sells them. You would just type in stereo 1/4 inch to RCA. So the stereo. Stereo meaning there's 2 mono cables for left and right. Sometimes you can get these with 2 little black bands on them. That's not what you want. Anyway, so in the back there'll be a left and right out. Those are those big instrument style. They're just called 1/4 inch plug, and then these are called either phono or RCA plugs, and that is going to go into the back of your receiver. So all of the audio is going out, the microphone's going out, sound effects through the audio box to the receiver, and then I've got in here quadraphonic speakers up in the corners. So a few things now. One other, not just for audio out, this PreSonus audio interface does hardware acceleration for the audio processing too. So don't skip it. It's making it so that this mic is passing through with very low latency. And that's important so you don't hear kind of an echo of yourself as you're speaking. that is basically the hardware. Let's dig into the software now. I've got a program called Ableton Live is the software I'm using. Just go to ableton.com. Live 11 is the current version right now. On their purchase page, buy it for $100 or it's $16.50 a month. And then I've got one plugin that I'm using. You don't have to use this. Ableton's got a built-in pitch shift in it, but I really like this one. The quality's super high and it can do a bunch of other stuff too. So Pitch Funk is the name of this by DMG Audio. You buy, I think it's about $90. You install it. It is what's called a VST3 plugin, which is to say that when you launch Ableton Live, it will pick up this plugin and it will be usable by Ableton Live to do filtering. So without further ado, let's dig into how to set it up now. So I'm going to close Ableton for a moment. Don't save. And oops, get rid of that. So from here, let's go to the Mac OS sound settings. So go to your settings, click on sound, and you can see here I've got the Novation and the mic plugged into my hub, plugged into the Mac. So you see here VEC GN USB, that is the mic. It's not on right now, but when I enable it, now you can see the levels going right here. Notice that it's clipping out. You see this top one? If I get close, it's like almost pegged the whole time. So you want a little distance to your mouth. You'll sort that out. There's a trick here to, you want the players to hear, when I'm DMing and I'm speaking to the players, I'm projecting my voice a little bit. When you're doing filtering, you want to lower your voice a little bit and let the speakers take over the volume. So they're hearing more of that than your voice. So it's important to make sure you get this level right. You don't want it like full clipping all the time. So I'm going to pull it back to about there. And so it's kind of not hitting the top one, at least that much. That'll save you some disturbance. Okay, so mic is validated working. Now let's go into Ableton Live. So I will launch it. And from a brand new project with nothing in it, we're going to set up a couple of sound triggers, a couple of voice filters, and the Novation buttons to trigger all that. All right, so here is how, as simple as it is. First, before we plug in any audio or filters, let's just check our settings in Ableton. So we're going to go live, preferences, and you need to check two things. One, the audio. You got to make sure, so my audio box is against the wall over there with my receiver. The RCAs are plugged in from the 1/4 inch to RCA. And I've got a very long USB extension cable going along my back wall, under the middle player here, and up into my USB hub. So with that, I can, normally this will just look like this. We'll say no device. So in the audio, in preferences, audio output devices, you select the PreSonus Audio Box 2, or whichever one you bought. The Scarlett is another one that's pretty popular, does the same thing. And then audio input device, this may show up as blank until you select your output device. That's what it does for me. But make sure that mic that you are testing in the sound settings is also plugged in. So now the Novation, so the sound will go out to the receiver, to the audio box. The mic will go into Ableton through the USB mic, good. And then under link and MIDI, just make sure one of these control surfaces, under control surface and input, is sent to the Launchpad X. Now Ableton will read button presses from it. That's it for settings. Now let's set up a sound trigger. So you see it's got a bunch of blue stuff in here. I'm just going to find an MP3 on my hard drive in the Finder and drag it into here. There it is. Okay, video. Oh, did I pick a video version of it? MP4. Okay, so if you pull thing, it won't trigger. Oh, no, it's working. Okay, but I'm gonna delete it. It's better to convert videos to MP3s. Maybe I'll make another video show you how to do that, pulling video from the internet, from YouTube. But let's drag the MP3 in here, and that'll be better. So there we go. Now, normally, it should show up in here. I'm gonna let's make a new live set. It should, there we go. It should clear the board when you open a new file. I don't know why I didn't initialize that time. So let's do that one more time. Back to the Finder, victory.mp3, drag it right here, and you'll see the color of this third row will light up orange, which is the color of this column. Now you'll notice I've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, but only 4 here. 2 of them are MIDI. But I've dragged it onto there. I press it. There's this stop clip button here. It will auto know it is just to kill any clip. So there we go. That's as simple as that. That's just trigger audio. You just drag it onto a scene. That's it. Let's go a little more advanced. Okay, we don't need any MIDI tracks, so I'm going to delete this one. I'm going to delete this one. And then if you right-click on this empty area, you can go Insert Audio Track or Control-T, so 3. I'm going to get 8 just to match my 8 channels here, my 8 rows, sorry, columns. 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Now one is kind of off the edge, so let's make our reverb column a little smaller. Okay, now we can see all 8. Let's drag another clip over here. Let's do Aqua Teen Hunger Force theme song shortened. Drag it into the second one. We'll get a red button now. It's playing it slow for some reason. I won't get into why that is or how to fix it. It's kind of beyond the scope of this video, but that's pretty easy to fix. Now, that's it for sound triggering. You just, Ableton, preferences, drag sound files in there, hit buttons, boom, you're done. So let's move on to some voice filtering now. We're gonna do a couple pitch shifts, a reverb, and an echo. Let's begin with let's see here. Let's click on audio effects. Let's go delay. Let's do reverb. No, let's do delay. Okay. And then there's a couple of versions of these: modulated, clean, ambient, vintage delays, flutter, sloppy. Let's see what else we have in here. Glitch delay, that might be kind of fun. Let's go to ping or pong, and I'm just going to drag it onto the 8th channel. Get into why in a second. So there we go. Notice at the bottom we've got this filter now. So we want the mic routing through this channel 8 so I can get that ping. Now, there's no audio going through here. Basically, you can see that this channel, you may have to switch. There's sort of 3 sections of interest here: audio from, monitor, and audio to. So we can see already, as I talk, this green bar is going up. So it's already feeding my mic. We're just not hearing it. So under monitor, I need to hit in. There we go. And my ping pong filter is working. Let's turn down the feedback to nothing. And we just got a single echo now. All right, that's pretty cool. Turn it up a little bit. Great. Okay, this button on the top left corner is the enable disable for this thing. So now let's stick that on a button. It's pretty easy to do. I turn it off by just clicking it now, but in order to map it to this bottom right button on my Launchpad, you just hit the MIDI learn button top right corner. Bunch of stuff goes purple. These are now buttons that you can select to then map to a key. So I'm going to click the ping power button, and then I'm going to click a button on my thing, on my Novation, hit MIDI again. So now this is now a toggle for turning my relay on and off. There you go. Simple as that. All right, that's off. Let's go to, let's see, let's add a reverb now. You just type in here reverb. Oh, I'm recording. I've done that. I record 11-minute videos and then realized I didn't turn on the record button. Okay, let's see, what do we have here? Sizzle Stadium. All right, fuck it, let's go Stadium. Okay, dragging Stadium onto also channel 8. So I'm not using a different row this time, but okay, that sounds like a nice big cavern. All right, let's map it to the button right above. So go MIDI learn, click the power, enable, whatever thing on this guy, that button there, turn off MIDI learn. So now it's toggled. So both of these now, whereas the sound buttons are always on, these sound triggers, the lights are always on. Now these effects are toggle on and off light up things. So they're generally off, so you just have to remember where you mapped them. But there's my reverb, there's a little bit of echo, and now we got echo and reverb. Oh my god, we're in a fucking another dimension. Spelljammer. All right, let's do a couple of pitch shifts. These are the fun ones. I'm going to use the one that is not built in to Ableton, the one I purchased. This is, again, you can search for DMG Audio or Pitch Funk. So these won't be under audio effects. It'll be under, while I'm describing, just turn this off, plugins. I'll expand VST3. If you've installed it and relaunched live, it should show up here. DMG Audio, Pitch Funk. Let's drag it onto channel 8. Okay, we're back on. I got some pretty crazy shit going on, you guys. What the fuck? So that's not what I want at all. So let's go ahead and hit preset. And then you can go tune all these knobs if you know what they do. I find it pretty difficult to do. So let's just use presets because that's the way to go. And go down to pitch. And let's go drop an octave. Mic back on. All right, we're in fucking business, baby. You can pitch down. All you need to change this one knob here, and you're in fucking business, baby. Let's do this. Yeah. Okay, so let's map this a couple of times with some different pitches. So, all right, if here's me straight up. So here's where the distance comes in. There's a little bit of a delay. In the preferences, sample size, you can reduce it, gets too clippy if you go too. Anyway, let's pick a pitch down. There we go. All right, this is pitched down a little bit for some other character. It's got a deeper voice, is more badass. Yeah, baby. All right, close that. I'm gonna do the same thing. Let's MIDI learn this motherfucking shit. MIDI learn button. Enable. I hit the third one in. Turn that shit off, Mailer, and then now we got my pitch shift button right there. There you go. All right, let's do that a couple more times. Can you just copy paste? I usually just drag it out again. Let's see if I can copy and paste this guy. Let's turn it off. Copy, paste. Yeah, good. All right. So now I've got a second one. Let's see if hitting that button, no, it only does, oopsie. Click on Audio 8 again, which is where I'm storing all my filters. So let's turn this one on. Here we go. And let's make this one a little lower. So this is the button you hit to reconfigure it. This little tool brings this up again, lower it some more. I am a fucking dragon. And we can turn on some delay and echo and reverb and all that shit. Okay, cool. Good. So here is MIDI map that guy to the one right above it. Ding, 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 bloop, blop. MIDI learn off. Got my super low voice on the button now. So I can go a little lower or a lot lower. And fucking A. All right, let's do that 2 more times with high pitched ones. Select pitch font, copy, we didn't put your mouse there, paste, configure, make sure this is turned on. Oh, we gotta have the mic. All right, let's do pitch up. I think, yeah, this sounds pretty good. You know, someone younger than me, whatever, just a little pitch up, all right? You know, in case I'm doing, whatever. Okay, look, you guys, please, leave me alone. I didn't do anything. Fuck if you didn't do anything. Look, you better back the fuck off, or I'm gonna kick you in the nuts. Alright, so let's close that. Okay, let's map it. Learn, right there. You gotta click it first. Did that work? I don't know. Let's see. Is it working? No, I messed it up. No, it didn't work. Okay, one more time. MIDI. Click the enable. The mapped button. MIDI. Now, motherfuckers, this shit is out. Yeah, baby, let's do this. Last one. Let's go a little higher voice. So copy, click, paste, turn off the old one, hit the settings. Let's go even higher, you guys. Oh my shit. This is fucking awesome. Okay, getting dumb over here. Getting pretty fucking dumb, you guys. MIDI one. Enable. Fucking button. Turn the MIDI enable off again. And then, okay, you guys. This whole shit is fucking go time. Wow. Oh, it's super high voice. If there's a little tiny insect. That's way too high. Jesus fucking Christ. Oh my god. Okay. Alright. I hope there's no, ogres over here. Yeah, that's what I meant to say. Oh shit. We're being infiltrated by what? By us, bitches. What you got? Come on, see what you fucking got. Alright, you guys, there's my stupid how to set up voice filtering for D&D. I hope you have fun with it. I hope you like this video. See you next time. Bye.